Hello and welcome to another This is Japan. I was just here this summer. You might have seen that if you're in the Patreon. You would have seen that I came here in summertime, and this is Hozukyo Station. It's in the middle of a bridge. Train came out of that tunnel and disappeared into that tunnel over there. So the station is just on the bridge itself, and it's overlooking the Hozu River, which is down below there. Unbelievably, there are rocks and stuff there. They're actually riverboats will come through there, and these guys are really good. They pull their way through there. I don't know if we'll see any today or not, but I'm hoping that we will at least see some red leaves and things, because now it's autumn here. It's a little chilly. It's about 10 degrees Celsius right now. A little cool right now, but once we get moving, it'll warm right up. So what we're gonna do today is, the last time we came here, we went up as far as Kiyotaki and then turned around and came back this way. But this time I'm going to go past Kiyotaki on up to a place called Takao, which is kind of cool. A little place up there. It's where a lot of people from Kyoto come out. I think like sometimes just for the day, like a day trip, they come out there. There's a bunch of these open restaurants along the river where you can eat fish, seafoods and stuff like that, but it's basically the local fish from the river, and it's really cool spot. So let's go. We're gonna go down over there. We're gonna go underneath the bridge and then out and then along the road. Actually, if we look over here, you can see the road going up there. So I'm gonna follow that road along, and then I'm gonna go down and find a path. And guess what? I just heard behind me, there's a riverboat. Riverboats are coming. Let's see if you can see them. Right there, can you see them? There's two riverboats coming down through there, pulling their way through. Now, these guys have got to be good, because those boats are just like either wood. Some of the older ones are wood, new ones like a fiberglass shell, but you hit one of those rocks, you're gonna crack that like an eggshell. So these guys are really good at pulling their way through. All right, we might see more of those along the way. There's a place where we get down by the river, so we'll see if we can see any coming down along there. All right. All right, we'll look down below here now. We can see one actually coming through, going through the rapids. That looks like a lot of fun. All right, now I'm standing up above. This is the station I was at just a couple minutes ago. The river down below, this beautiful spot. This is one of the many things I love about Japan, is the fact that I can hop on a train, hop down at Kyoto, and be out here and basically just about wilderness. There's a car going by, but once you get off this road, we'll be into more wilderness to go along the next river. It's fantastic. I mean, I can do this anywhere. I can hop on a train, and in no time I can be out somewhere to go hiking. I think it took today to get out to here from Kyoto is about, I'm not too sure because I wasn't really paying attention, about 20 minutes. Oh, I think I hear a train coming. So this will be the train I rode in on. You can hear the sound. It's coming. Let's see, there's a tunnel back there. Any second now. Yeah, there it is. So that's the train coming. This is the JR line. If you want to come out here and hike here, you can hop on this train easily. It's at Kyoto Station. Track 33 or 32, one of those two tracks will bring you out here. 33 for sure, it takes you to Kamioka. That one's a non-stop train. That one's not stopping here. Of course, you want one that says it stops at Hozukyo. This is Hozukyo. So if you ever want to come out here and do this, it's a beautiful walk, especially in autumn like this. I'm hoping we'll still see some red leaves. Coming a little late in November. I would have liked to come out here a little earlier in November, but I was really busy, so couldn't do that. But hopefully around the corner here, we might see some red leaves yet. All right, I'm sitting down in a little shelter at the end of the bridge that leads over to the Hozukyo station for the Toroko train. That's a different train from the train I came in on. The Toroko is like a tourist train, open, and it's for sightseeing. Right? I'm gonna have a cup of tea, relax. I was working this morning, actually. That's why I'm up here in Kyoto today. I had to give an exam to my the Eigo Rikai class, my third year. Eigo Rikai meaning the English understanding class. So I had to go in and play a recording for them and things of this, and they have a test. I didn't have to do much other than play the recording because I'm the main person for the test. So that means that two other teachers are actually, one in each class, watching them and handing out the papers and then collecting them and all. So pretty easy gig, actually. Just came up here and did that. But since I'm going to be in Kyoto anyways, might as well come and do this. This is one of my favorite hikes. I just love it. I mean, it's not a big hike. It's more of a walk, but still, it's beautiful. Unfortunately, it looks like we're a little late for the momiji, the red maple tree, you know, the little Japanese maples. But we might be just in time for you to see the Todoko train go by. In fact, I think I hear it coming. Can you hear that? Ta-tung, ta-tung. All right, let's see if we can look across there. We're not going to go to the station today. I've been over there in the last video, so if you want to see closer up the Todoko train station, that would be in the last video, which is in the Patreon feed. But there you go. See the lights coming? There it is. All right, so not gonna ride that day. We're gonna have to ride that one day and video it. But now I finish my tea, carry on. All right, I'm at the point where the Kiyotaki River comes in to the Hozu River, and we're gonna be going up the Kiyotaki River. Just here, this is like an old abandoned, maybe a tea room or something it looks like it was. A little veranda out there, some chairs, but it made it impossible to get in. Barbed wire and stuff. They don't want anybody going in there, and I don't know what. I guess maybe probably because of danger more than anything. You probably fall through the floor or something. But if you watched the one I did, the hike up Hozukyo in the summer where I went swimming in the river, you might recognize this spot back here. This is where we stopped, and I picked up a whole bunch of old, found some old river-washed bricks and things like that. And also, we got a close-up look at a couple of riverboats coming by. Unfortunately, the ones that we saw at the train station from the bridge up above there, those seem to be the only ones. That was a school outing. I saw a bunch of schoolboys were in those with their black uniforms on. So school outings still come around, but we have no tourists, of course. So that means that you're not seeing any riverboats go by, not much. So today, we're a little bit out of luck on that, but at least we got to see it. If you want to see riverboats up close, that other one is in the Patreon feed. And that was, I think, either August or September I was out here. Probably September. I remember it was getting a little cool, but I still went swimming. So it was actually nice. So what we're going to do now is, if you look down below here, there's another river coming in, and that is the Kiyotaki River. It's a smaller river. Just over up there, we're going to hit the trail that follows up it, and that's going to take us to the little town of Kiyotaki. Little village, hamlet. More like a hamlet, actually. It's really tiny. And then we're going to go on up along the river, and we're going to end up at Takao. So there's some cool things to see there. There's a little pond I found, which not very many people know about. So we're going to check that out, and a couple of things like that, and see the Takao is kind of interesting. So let's go ahead and go find that. So I've started up the Kiyotaki River, and I've stopped to do one of my favorite pastimes on a free day is beachcombing. I used to love to do it on the beaches back in Canada. Love doing it here because you don't know what you're going to find. And what I'm finding is beach or river washed pieces of brick, and actually the blue there, a piece of old roof tile. If you haven't seen one of my videos before, what I do is I'm collecting these because in the future I'm going to be building a cottage, and I want to build it in a certain style where these would go like in the walls to accents and things like that. So just whatever I can, I'm collecting stuff like this. Old roof tiles. I found some from an old castle up in the forest. That was pretty cool. Those are going to look really good. Great accents in the wall. The way I'm building is more of an alternative style, which is called cordwood construction, which means you use pieces of wood like cordwood and you mortar them in place. And of course, just having the wood only, every once in a while having the accents of brick and things like that and roof tile is going to look really cool and just add to the overall charm of the place. So I'm going to carry on here a little bit, do a little bit more beachcombing, and then we'll head on up the river. Right now I'm going up along the Kiyotaki River. Is down below me here. This is just one of the many streams where we're feeding into it. But as you can see, look at this. Not far from Kyoto, and basically just about wilderness. I mean, yeah, there's the occasional hike that comes along here, but otherwise, it's basically wilderness up here. It's just beautiful, and it's not far out of the city, and you get this, and it's just, we're following the river all along here. Fantastic place, especially in autumn now. Wonderful. Summer is nice too because it's a little cooler in here in summer. I mean, it's still hot, but it's cooler comparatively. And you can go swimming in, I just have this whole look down below here. You see the water down here. There's little pools all along. So it's easy enough to just jump in for a quick dip. I just went into my underpants last time because really where I was behind some rock. Nobody could really see me, so I probably could have gone right down, skinny dip, but just in case somebody came along, I don't want to shock them too much. So, gonna carry on. See a little bridge here going across. Trail keeps going along here. Now, I would say if you do come here and hike this, do wear sturdy shoes. This part is a little rocky along here. It's not bad. I mean, it's a relatively easy trail compared to stuff I usually hike on, but still, I would wear good shoes. Don't do it in sandals. So you don't want to slip on some of these and end up in the river. Just bouncing off the rocks on the way down. That'd be a little bit painful. But the river might be refreshing, but you might be bleeding by the time you get to it. So do wear some good shoes when you come out here. I'd say carry a little bit of water. That's about it, really. And maybe a snack to eat along the way. I always bring my lunch. I got a lunch today, so I'm going to be stopping somewhere further along the way, have my lunch, enjoy. You want to do it's kind of a relaxing hike. You don't want to be rushed. You want to kind of relax and enjoy as you go along here, enjoy nature. All right, let's carry on. All right, so here we are at the little hamlet of Kiyotaki. It's just a few houses, just a little one street goes around there. I'm going to bypass it today. Usually I'd go through there, but I'm not wearing a mask. I don't want to freak out the locals, so I'm going to stay along the river here. Along the river here, there's a trail that runs along the river, and I can cross a bridge over at the other end and get on to the trail where I want to be. So we'll skip it this time, but if you want to see the little town, it is actually in that last video I did, which I believe was September. All right, so let's carry on and go on up to where we want to go. We're going to go find that little pond, and then we're going to some other things we see along the way. There's one thing is really cool alleyway through cedar trees, and then we're going to have a Takao, which by itself is quite cool. All right, let's go. All right, so here we are. This is my secret pool. I found this a couple years ago. Now the trail is just about barely noticeable on the side of the road. This is why a lot of people don't find it. And I was hiking up along this road here, and then I saw, what's that on the side? It looks like it could be a trail or something. So had to explore it, came down here, found this pool, had it all to myself. Usually I always have it all to myself. This summer some people found it, they were swimming here, but usually I can come here by myself and I just cross over to the other side, and it's like all along there. There's nice places to sit and all. Just go for a little swim in here. It's not super deep or anything, but you can kind of float along. It's nice. And go on this side. It looks like there's an old control tower over there, whether it's just, I think just for flood control more than anything. The water's pouring over the edge here. It looks like maybe at one time the wall was a little higher here. I don't know, can't tell for sure. There's a leaf in my face. Can't tell for sure, but it's just a great little spot to come here in summer. I'm not gonna cross over today because I'm gonna keep going, but in summertime I would come over here and just cool down a bit. Yeah, and the water even in summer is really cold because I guess it's coming from up in the mountains here. It's pretty chilly, but after a little while you get used to it. All right, so I'm gonna carry on, gonna go up the other side here, and let's keep going. All right, so this is a little place, a little restway. We're getting closer and closer to Takao, and a lot of tourists usually come to Takao when there's tourists coming here, and some of them will come for a walk down to here, maybe have lunch or something like that. Oh, there's a couple picnic benches. There is a rather old, kind of a shelter, that's what I'm looking for, kind of a shelter back there, but the last typhoon basically ravaged that thing. So there are some nice picnic benches right here. I'm going to go sit in the sunshine and have my lunch. All right, so you'd wonder what does the guy who makes all the recipes for Kuma's Kitchen have for lunch. It must be something fantastic, and that would be a good expectation. However, unfortunately, this is a last minute decision because the weather is good and I had to come up to Kyoto to do that test. So what have I got? Well, reheated mini pizzas. I do have a flask of tea, and I've got some dried fruits and walnuts and stuff. And that's about it. It's nothing fancy today. I love this little spot right here. As you come along the trail, it goes straight down through a whole bunch of straight cedar trees. It's just such a image. So it's one of my favorite spots along this trail. All right, so there it is, the alleyway through the trees. Well, I'm basically just around the corner from Takao, now not much further to go. So I decided to drop down to the river here. There's a spot that looked like it might have some good beach combing. And I did. I found some cool things. Like some piece of old pottery with little ridges and stuff on it still. It's all nicely worn. And then, let's see, put that in my pocket. I've also got, this is a nice find. This is actually a piece of an old bowl. It's been totally worn by the river. And beautiful design inside. It probably comes from one of those restaurants up there. Like, they're pretty old. I mean, those places have been there forever. So this could be an old bowl that got dropped overboard one day because they're all right on the river. And then also found an old worn piece of roof tile with still a little bit of blue on it, the bluing. That's pretty cool. And I love the shape too. So it's good. Just like that. Put that in a wall. They look pretty cool, I think. So, I'm collecting all this stuff, and I'll have a bunch of it there on hand when I'm building, so I can just pick and choose what I think will go where, what'll look nice where. All right, so I'm gonna pack up now. It's starting to get a little cool, actually. Somebody just came by and said, "Aren't you cold?" I'm in my t-shirt, but and it is chilling down a bit now. So probably time to get moving, warm up again. Now entering Takao. So it's got a little chilly. I had to put my sweatshirt back on. It's only 2:30 in the afternoon, but the sun isn't hitting in here. You get a little higher elevation. It's a little cool in here. I'm not too sure exactly what the temperature is here, but a little cooler than it is down in Kyoto. This is the spillway over here. There's a big collection pond behind that. And I think this is where the water is going into that aqueduct. I can't see it. Probably, I know where I was over there once before, there's a tunnel it goes into. So it comes out of the mountain. So probably going through the mountain in parts here and then into that aqueduct. So we're going to carry on. We're going to go up into Takao. Let's have a look at some of the old buildings there. All right, the first place we see when we get into the town is, or town, village, resort area. It's basically just a bunch of resort type things here. This is called Momijiya. Momiji is the Japanese maples. Ya is like store, house, whatever. So actually in this case, yeah, it's the kanji for house, or home. So this is the Momiji home, the maple leaf home, and it's just a little, one of the many riverside dining areas here. I keep wanting to come here at night because I bet it's beautiful, and these are all lit up, all the little lanterns along here. So it's all along there, seating, and then up in there. It goes all along there. So it's nice little, I think it might even be an inn. I have to go look at the sign again. Maybe you can even stay there, but most of it's just eatery. So I think in behind might be some places you can actually stay overnight up here. Most people just come up here to the day. There's a road up to here, so you can drive up here and then come have dinner and then drive back to Kyoto. All right, so let's carry on further up into Takao. All right, so I'm in a little bit of civilization here right now. Some people have masked up for just a little while. Want to freak people out. Right behind me is one of the dining spots along the river, and this is, you can see it's just floor, that's it. There would be usually tatami mats too, that it looks like they're putting everything away. There's a cleaning crew over there, season's over, putting everything away. So you usually have tatami mats, then you'd have tables, little low tables, we call kotatsu, and you'd sit on little flat pillows that we call zabuton. And they'd serve all kinds of fish dishes here. So it's very, very kind of nice place. I think that, I don't know what their business was like this year, whether they were as busy as usual, but a lot of places still were because we had the go to eat and go to travel programs going on. So a lot of people, Japanese people, are coming out to places like this instead. Now, of course, now that we're going to red alert in Osaka, they're kind of throttling back on that, saying no, and they're actually asking us Osakans not to go into other prefectures. Same with the people up in Hokkaido. I think they've been like that for a long time. Same with Tokyo. So still, it's nice to come out here. Not much danger of corona infection out here in the countryside, as long as mask up when you see people. So this really cool place to come, eat a lot of fish dishes, and you can actually stay here. There are places up here along the upper side of the road. There are some inns and what they call hotels, but they're more Japanese inn style. And if you've ever stayed in a Japanese inn, they're great because you go, you've got high mat floors, you got the futon, and you roll out the futon at night to sleep on. And during the daytime, you sit around a little table in there, and some of them they'll bring you dinner and all that in your room which is absolutely fantastic. So here we get a chance to do that, go for it. All right, one last look back at Takao before I leave and head up the hill to the bus stop. You can see it's just a little tiny place, a couple little eateries along the water. There's like up, you see up on the hill there's a roof. That'd be a otera, a temple, Buddhist temple. Anytime you see those kind of roofs, they're quite long. I don't think it's anything else up there. I'm quite sure it's a temple. I had to actually check a map to find out for sure, but it sure looks like it. So anyways, this is Takao. That's the end of today's hike, walk. It's more like a walk, but it's a nice little hike. All right, so if you enjoyed this video and these hiking videos, and you're not yet a patron of Kuma's Kitchen, well, consider becoming one. We have lots of them in there. So if you enjoy this kind of stuff, yeah, for like $3 a month, you could be having access to all that kind of stuff too. So think about it. If not, I'll try to shoot more that come up here on the main channel every once in a while. But mainly, of course, this channel is for recipes. And hey, there's another one coming up on Monday. See you.